Previously on The Legend of Spyro, the Littlest Lost Dragon. Spyro's journey began as an egg when he was rescued from the Chamber of Secrets by the aged wise dragon Ignitus when the Dark Master's forces busted in and started smashing all the eggs in the Dragon Temple. Fearful for the purple egg's safety, Ignitus carefully retrieved it from its bedding and set it adrift on roaring rapids so it could be discovered by Nasonex mascots. In the forthcoming years, Spyro apparently subsisted on pollen and butterflies, growing to a surprisingly reasonable size as a result. He thought it was a dragonfly, and his little brother David Spade did too, which shows you how smart the writers thought their target audience was going to be.
Oh really? Is that so? Okay, what am I thinking now? What am I thinking now? Okay, now.
This shallow facade continued for years until fire started shooting out of Spyro's mouth. So he did what anyone would do in this situation, wander aimlessly in the wilderness, looking for nothing in particular. Lucky for him, his world is made up of linear paths, and those paths led to the hole Ignitus himself crawled into. Ignitus lets our heroes know that he and 3 other dragons were guardians of the world against the armies of a Dark Master of some sort. They were doing a pretty good job of it too, until a black dragon named Cinder came and put them on the defensive. When the temple was overrun, he became a true hero and ran and hid and waited to die. Spyro and Ignitus made their way to the holy temple of some nondescript dragon religion we never learn about, and Spyro is treated to a grim vision of what happens when summer turns into autumn. Clearly, this is the malevolent Cinder's doing. Ignitus is too old, weak, and stupid for this shit already, so it's up to this malnourished little dragon with an identity crisis to save the world from being corrupted by evil. Ignitus gives him a crash course in fire breathing and tells Spyro that he is special.
You are a purple dragon. A very special creature.
And that he can fly.
You can fly.
Which causes Spyro to be able to fly. And whoosh, they're off! To prevent Cinder from corrupting the world with dark evil magic, Spyro's first stop is naturally Zombie Island. He wanders around looking for the first of the 3 remaining dragon sages, Voltaire the Volt Dragon, who likes being smart and scientific without using any equipment or notes. Along the way, Spyro coincidentally discovers that he can breathe electricity. He fights the Ice King and discovers that Cinder has been draining Voltaire of his power for an unknown purpose, possibly because she hasn't figured out there are other ways of generating electricity without having to deal with controlling an army of skeleton ghosts. Spyro's journey takes him next to the Hilltop Highlands, where he meets with Cain, a llama person with an aggressive chip on his shoulder. Through the time-honored communication medium of insultingly easy rolling ball puzzles and shooting ice out his nostrils, they manage to teach Cain the magic of cooperation for some reason we, the players, are unaware of. They fight the Earth Golem King of Whatever and rescue Cyril, the Blue Dragon. And David Spade is revered as a god of the llama people in a sequence that might seem funny or like a deliberate reference to the Emperor's New Groove if it showed even a sliver of self-awareness, which it doesn't. Next up for Spyro is the Lava Reef Zone, which he discovers is infested with baboons, giant bats, and miners he has to rescue before the volcano they're working in blows. As he works his way through, he suddenly finds himself the victim of a near-death experience. Gadzooks! Panicked at the potential loss of his beloved brother, Dickie Roberts, former child star, displays a startling level of pathos and emotion, worthy of the consideration of any Academy Award.
Spyro, can you hear me? You okay, buddy? Hey, listen, forget about those cracks I made about your fatness and your being purple and stupid and fat. Alright? Just get out of there, please, Spyro. Don't be dead.
Spyro busts out of the bell he was trapped under by sneezing life at it, then reunites a mole named Mole-yair with his brother, No1-cairs. It's at about this time that it appears Spyro has everything tied up, but after defeating the King of Steam Engines and rescuing Terrador the Earth Dragon, he suddenly discovers the magical ability to look like he was designed by people who had no business being near a copy of Lightwave to begin with. And as though that wasn't enough, Cinder drops by and captures Ignitus. What's a little dragon to do? Spyro learns that Cinder's secret base is in the Tower of Tedium. Instead of flying up to the place where she's holding his beloved mentor and clawing her in her stupid face, he chooses to land a ways outside so he can challenge an Electric King that nobody cared about in the first place. It's at this point the player realizes that Spyro has visited 4 elemental worlds, killed 4 elemental bosses, and rescued dragons of 4 elements, so clearly the climax of the story must be coming up, or else the designers of this game would have to exhibit some creativity for once. This proves correct, since after Spyro punches one life bar out of Cinder, he frees Ignite Jesus and learns the terrible truth, that Cinder was...
Evil? Monstrous? Big? Sexy? Oops, did I say that?
No, that's creepy. Jesus Christ. She was actually stolen as an egg around the same time Spyro's egg was rescued from being smashed. Even though Ignitus already said that he and the rest of the Guardians were on the run from Cinder when this was happening. Anyway, she's actually been corrupted by the devil or something, and it's up to Spyro to go through the portal of something to stop something from happening. So the brave little dragon flies through to the final world of the game, Convexity, the land of jellyfish and nothing else. He heads up to Cinder's platform and learns, finally, that he has the ability to breathe dragons. Cinder responds to this the only way she knows how, by shrinking and turning into something that looks like it was beaten with several ugly sticks after each of them broke over her face. Spyro grabs her and flies out just as Convexity collapses. The sheer effort of this causes him to lose his breath powers, so we get to rediscover them in the sequel. The game ends on a foreboding note, as we realize a planned trilogy like this has to end with an ominous threat still waiting to be defeated, even if the first game doesn't meet sales expectations.
I left home too, you know. I'm a little guy, yeah, that's right. Maybe you haven't noticed. Things are a lot bigger to me than they are to you. And did I back away? Nah. Why? 'Cause I got moxie. I'm a tough cookie. I got class. I got a little frog in my throat.
Joe Dirt's last words are appropriately pathetic. What awaits our band of dragons in the future? Find out in our Let's Play of TLoS 10. See you there!
I mean, he's a character that sort of starts out entering into a world that he's unfamiliar with and taking aboard something that is kind of quite massive. It's not dissimilar from a journey that I'd taken before as someone who is embarking on something that is sort of bigger than they could conceive of or bigger than them.